The List Game is a conversational improv game. We discuss a hypothetical situation, and our cast has drawn a series of phrases from the chicken hat. Their goal is to slip those phrases into the conversation. Every time they do successfully, they get a point. If someone says, "Hey, that's on your list," and catches them, then they get that point. You can also bluff, making up your own. And if someone calls you, you get a bluff point. Do you tip your waiters, waitresses, bartenders? How about tip your podcasters? We need some help with this. Please go to patreon.com/listgame and give us $1 a month. It adds up to about 25 cents an episode. Contact us at listgame@cox.net, COX. Our Twitter is @TheListGame. Here's a promo from another great podcast. An anthology of stories in a universe of universes. A podcast called Chronosphere Fiction. Immerse yourself in the worlds of Gafgarn the Eternally Unfurnished. Monday through Friday at the Smith's residence. Thicker than water. These and more are waiting for you on the podcast, Chronosphere Fiction. It's time to shut up. This is your host, Daniel French. And let me introduce our fine panel of subjects. To my left, brushing pizza crust off of his sweater, is the immaculate Rod Diaz.
What's up?
I met her in a bar and she still won't leave. It's Kathy Lieberman.
Hi, Dan. I'm so glad you.
They're supposed to leave before the next morning.
But why was I on the couch?
And the guy over here in the corner crawling around picking up the crumbles of buds that didn't make it in my pipe is Kevin Johnson.
Elevin.
Kevin Elevin. I call him Kevin Elevin. He says Kevin Johnson. I call him Kevin Johnson. He says Kevin Elevin. Which is it, man? Kevin 11-inch Johnson. I know when this one comes out, it's going to be long after, but it is Father's Day here at the List Game Studios. And in celebration of Father's Day, we're going to talk about Grandpa and Grandma stories, and you can do fathers and moms too if you want. First thing you got to do when you do Grandpa stories, you got to start talking like this. And you say, "Goddamn shit, kid. Put that fucking electronic screen thing away and get out your peachy folder and draw on it and turn that basketball player into an orc."
We used to put the dagger. We used to take the basketball player and the other guy who's over him. You would paint the dagger into the heart, and he's got a hammer in the raised arm.
Right. Make them basketball players into orcs from Lord of the Rings, and they gotta kill each other.
There's no chiseling of the stone tablets in your day, sir?
Yes, we had the stone peachy, and we had to chisel it, and it was a bitch to carry that fucker to school.
No chariots, togas.
We had the Torah.
There's still togas in my day. That's a common one. We're going to watch TV tonight. Put on your toga.
Yeah.
I want easy access.
Speedo, swim gear.
I love grandparents and Speedos.
Grandparents always have like super elastic waistbands or one-piece long johns, but my grandmother...
And even those are extra stretchy.
Yeah.
Got to get that extra room.
My grandmother had these shoes, man. And they were, at the time, me and my little brother would trip out about them because they were not Adidas, they were not New Balance, they were called Skips.
I remember Skips.
They're not a brand name. When we were kids, we all want brand names, But they're Skips. And mind you, they're like turquoise blue and navy blue, And we lived in there were some gangs around us, And my grandmother made sure.
Don't wear those blue ones, man.
No. My grandmother had big red laces in these shoes. And me and my brother would flip by like, man, this is the most gangster thing we've ever seen in our life. And then she would go anywhere, like when her fanny pack and these red laces in her shoes and a red one of those bucket hats. You know, yeah.
Yes.
Like we didn't know any bloods that were that much red. Like, oh my God, what's
I'm a
happening
Crip
here?
blood. I'm a blood Crip.
So I was thinking of two things.
I smelled something.
I was thinking of my grandmother and what she was doing, and then I was comparing that to what grandmas of today, which I could be that grandma of today, would be doing. So I was thinking, okay, well, my grandma grew up in New York. She was like the second generation from Russia. And she
was there during gangs in New York and stuff?
Right, yeah. She was Jewish, so she was in the Bronx, and I don't think was near that stuff. You know, it was too low class. You know, they had just barely invented she was alive before the car. You know, before the car.
So they had just barely invented the printing press.
Yeah, I don't remember that part. But man, cars were new, and I can't even get in the whole lacy underwear part. But the lacy underwear part comes in our generation. Like, if I were a grandma, I'd be wearing hippie beads and whatever, and Speedos. That's why I brought up Speedos would be my bathing suit. Whereas she was like
a button-up
90 gangs in New York days. They bury the evidence. It's like, all right, throw them in the river.
No, you know why? You could get away with it.
Yeah, you could get away with anything back in those days.
It was like Wild Wild West.
How freeing that would be to be able to kill anyone you wanted to. I mean, get away with it. And as a woman, God, can you imagine how many women probably murdered people and they don't even know?
Lizzie Borden.
Well, she got caught. I mean, what a
She only got caught once. She just still did a lot more after that.
But I think women could. I bet you there's more murders by women in the past than men, because women can get away with it. No one believed that we would kill.
Women kill me every day.
I know my heart's been shattered.
So I remember my grandpa, and when I was a teenager, my grandpa was the first one and took me to the store and he bought me condoms. He was like, "What's this for, Grandpa?" And I was gonna go fill them up like water balloons and shit.
Did he
He
really
had to give me the whole speech. Oh,
Did he
yeah.
really?
My grandpa was a nut job, man. Well, my dad's side.
I think that's pretty before his time. Not nut job.
That's true. Good point. He was a forward thinker.
Yeah.
My grandma used to love watching horror movies. It's like some of my favorite memories are watching horror movies.
Wow, really?
What's
That's
your grandma?
6 years old.
Man.
My
Sweet.
grandma.
That's
But she would watch
sweet.
black and white ones, you know.
Oh,
you
she said you're on the
old
trilogy
school,
of
like
terror with that little rubber doll.
1950s,
Oh,
like,
yes, I love
all the
Trilogy
old,
of Terror.
all the old like vampire,
The
and,
werewolf.
Creature
of the Black Lagoon.
What was that show with the dude that would like talk about the show with the vamp, and it'd be always like a vampire?
Yeah.
Seymour.
Yeah. No, that was like Vincent Price.
Totally.
that guy.
Vincent
Yeah,
Price.
yeah,
Yeah, that
Vincent
shit was
Price.
awesome.
Cool.
Night Gallery.
Yeah.
What was
The one show that was like, it was like The Outer Limits, but not. It wasn't Twilight Zone. It wasn't Outer Limits, and it wasn't Tales from the Dark Side. It had
Creature feature?
some really gutter name, but then like the guy's like bones creaking in the bed
Creepshow.
springs, like, and then these things
Creepshow.
just start happening like part by part, but it was only on like the
Bones
UHF.
creaking like what?
The bones creaking like box springs, you know, and like he said things like that, you know, and it wasn't like a Vincent Price dude. It was a dude who looked like Peter Lorre, you know.
Oh, I know you're talking. I was Count Floyd.
Yeah, dude.
Count Floyd was great.
Yeah, he's like, bones creaking like
His
bed
triangle
springs.
of black hair was painted on his forehead, and he would say, "Blah, blah. I have a great show for you today, blah."
But they'd only watch
It's me, Count Floyd.
They only watch that one show. They only watch that one movie. They watch like Humanoids from the Deep. You know.
Oh, that was a great one. I love that
was so
one.
dirty.
Yeah, my grandma got mad at me for that movie because it's like, what was the humanoids from the deep doing? Remember?
Yeah,
They were spawning, man. They were coming up and grabbing the human women and raping them on the beach and stuff.
The movie ends with a human girl like giving birth to one of those creatures.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the movie ends. It's like
God.
the cautionary sex tale. You know, like no hemorrhoids in the garden, please. Are you kidding me? No way. day. And like,
It smells like fish. Don't touch it.
all those movies were like that. My mom let us watch, like when we were all little kids, let us watch Friday 13, and my grandmother scolded her for that.
Oh wow.
Let them watch Agnes of God.
Anybody ever have to go to the supermarket with your grandparents? And it's like, oh my God. And you can watch everybody else pissed off because grandma's like FBI coupon expert. And she's busting out her notebook of coupons and going, oh, I got this one. Oh, wait, I got one more back here for this. So just right, she's trying to match it up with what she bought it with. And then after she's finally done with that, she busts out the checkbook. And we've all been there. You're waiting in line and you're in a hurry. I got my beer, my party's waiting and everything. Everybody's paying with cash and credit card. And there's that lady who busts out the checkbook. She can't, it takes her 20 minutes to write her name, And then after they give them the coupons, they want to take 2 of them back because they have a better one. Oh, wait, I need to go through theirs. I meant to use this one.
No, he has to go digging back into the receipt.
He's like, I already threw them in the trash, man.
My grandmother used to keep receipts. One time,
My boyfriend likes to keep receipts.
one time my mom.
Well, you always give them a receipt. Why not?
Does he keep them like a file? Does he keep them like in a Rolodex?
No, but
Are you just embarrassed that it should be $200 and you only charge him $20?
well,
It's like, well, okay, we went to McDonald's. All right.
oh boy.
It was extra large.
Unfortunately, that was
like
only
it.
the French fries.
I like it.
We only eat hard candy.
I'm a hard candy man.
Oh man, yeah, my grandma was one of those. My dad's mom always had the hard candy in her purse.
The dish.
Yes.
And the dish was the worst. The hard candy in the purse was like the little butterscotch Werthers that you could unwrap. The stuff in the dish, you go to grab one, and the whole dish comes up off the table, and it weighs like 8 pounds. You got to bust out that hammer and the chisel you were talking about to get a piece of candy. I just started picking up the bowl and licking it.
Okay, wait, listen. The scoosh on your face. You're sitting in the passenger seat. Grandma is next to you, and she's stopping at a stoplight. And there's some scoosh on your cheek. She looks over and sees the scoosh, goes into her hand pocket with the Kleenex she just sneezed in.
And wipes your
Licks
face.
it, and then wipes that scoosh on your cheek. And you're like,
I don't know what it is about
I
grandparents.
think the
and cheeks.
scooge was cleaner.
I don't know what it is about grandparents and cheeks, but man, I remember always getting my cheek pinched.
yes, painful.
I had a lot of pinching happening in my face.
And then the full hand squeeze.
Yes, before
Thumb on
It's-
one
it-
side, rest of the fingers
it's
on the
'cause
other.
they wanna
He's
grab your
so
ass.
Cute.
by law they're not allowed.
Yeah.
So they just make your face do. Well, that's a pretty nice opening there.
My one I hated was like the Vaseline. Why you put this Vaseline on my face? Now I'm like, I'm all dark and shiny. Now I can reflect the sun. And then you start sweating. And you're like, why is this on my face? This is what you need.
Or you cough and you get the Vicks vapor rub on your chest. Now you smell like that all day and all night.
We watched Star Trek The Menagerie at my grandma and grandpa's house when that first was televised.
That was the first
And they were
one.
Trekkies?
That's the first one, right?
Yeah, fuck,
yeah.
man.
Grandpa's
what's
putting on
so
his Spock
cool-
ears. All right, it's time for some Spock.
man. It was funny because that, sci-fi, I guess my parents, my
Pacemaker
we
on
love
stun.
movies anyways, but yeah.
Look out, Martha, that green lady's giving me a little chub. Got a little case of the Klingons myself. I'll be right back.
So would you say boxer brief or depends?
I don't even know what they had.
Grandpa, do you wear boxers or briefs? That depends.
Oh man, they had a freaking hemp rag. It's like they stitched themselves.
Nah, you get tidy whities for Christmas.
And they're always too big. These tidy whities, Grandpa. Oh, those are your grandma's.
Brand new church shoes.
Actually, that's probably what a grandpa said.
Oh, I
about
hated
his
those
grandma.
shoes.
He's
No,
like,
my
"I
grandma
like
got me those
undies."
when I was like 6.
Those
go for
church
tidy
shoes,
whities.
they
Oh, man.
all look the same.
And you put them on, and especially when they're new. You walk for 2 hours and all the knuckles on your toes are bleeding.
Oh, they're like those wooden. What
It's
kind of
just rubbing.
It's like one of those wooden shoes, man. It's like, really, man? Where'd you find these, Grandma?
So I'm assuming you guys tried these shoes on, and that's how you knew.
I had to wear them when I was
No,
Wait,
no.
your grandma's shoe?
No,
No, the shoes
Church
they
shoes.
bought for us to go to church.
Brand new church.
Yeah.
Your church.
Oh,
I didn't even have them at
Church
my
shoe
house.
was not your regular shoe.
You're right. You're right. The ones that cut into
Yeah.
the sides.
Yeah.
Okay.
The church,
I remember.
church shoes.
Yeah.
And before church, I had to go to Grandma's house first, and then always trying to get away without putting on the shoes, you know.
Oh, God.
And she'd pull them out. There's the damn shoes.
Oh, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare. If I didn't show up with those shoes, no such thing.
Yeah. I got busted for running around Sunday school barefoot more than once.
So
Such a rebel. You're such a rebel.
That's when it all started.
my problem with church always was that I could never, because we were Catholic, I could never get the whole hang of when you get up and when you sit down and everybody would say something.
So he brings a pogo stick to church.
And I'd just be like, I'd just always be off, whatever everybody else is doing.
Everybody
up,
sitting
I'd be
down,
saying,
Rod
"Oh,
standing
fuck."
there.
I get up, everybody says, fuck.
And he's tall, so it really sticks out.
It was great.
Temple was a lot of fun. I think the best part about being Jewish is I think you have a lot more fun than all you other guys.
Way better music.
Way better music. You can, in fact, dissonance in your voice is desired, So if you're a kid who's off key, it's yeah, man, that's the Hebrew way. it's almost soulful. So I was fun being Jewish. I like going to temple.
I love this joke. Why am I not in on it?
You are.
You didn't know that? The schmeckle and the scoops?
No, I remember the first
You know
time
you want a schmeckle, but you don't give a scoops.
when we were kids, right? The kid that sat next to me in class, this kid Jacob, and for some reason he ended up coming to church with us, and I did not know what it meant to be a Jewish person or anything like that. We were just kids, and I didn't
You've
know.
got horns in your head. My dad was actually checked for that.
He asked me, do you go to a temple? I said, no, I go to church. He said, I want to go. And so my grandmother really took Jacob with us to church.
Freaking anything goes, man.
And my grandmother,
Check
she
it
always
out.
whispered, said, well, he's not Christian, he's Jewish. And I'm like, I don't understand what that means. But whenever we went,
It
go to
means
sleep
at
at church,
Christmas they get a present every day for 9 days.
I was trying to quantify that, man. How can I
But
get
they get the shitty presents. We get the good presents.
Well, actually, if you're an LA Jew, you actually
yes,
celebrate both Hanukkah and Christmas. So, woo!
So you get
10
the dreidel
days.
and the
Oh,
Lamborghini.
you get fucking everything.
How can I get the Trinity, man?
LA
I want Kwanzaa, I want Hanukkah, and I want Christmas.
That's called Festivus.
Yeah.
That was a feat of strength. Airing of grievances.
That's right.
So what did your grandparents call you when you were being a bum or whatever? And they'd warn you that you're gonna grow up to be a homeless piece of shit or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
And my grandpa on my mom's side always said the village idiot. Your freaking brother's gonna be the village idiot, man. I think he's already there. Every time, look what the French family's doing. Well, there's old Mark down there picking his toes. He's a village idiot.
Anyone ever heard the word flippant?
Yes.
Flip in or flip it?
Flippant.
Flippant.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's very, very flippant.
Yeah.
No, like that.
Well, it kind of means you don't give a shit, right? Yeah. He's very
A
flippant.
GRE word is the flippant. You don't usually read it in literature,
Yeah.
maybe once or twice.
My grandmother would call us flippant. If we got our pocket,
Yeah,
in the
flip it,
grocery
little
store,
bastard.
You're too flippant. Oh my gosh. We didn't even know what it really meant. We just knew that it was bad.
You're not taking her seriously.
I know.
Wow.
I used to piss my grandma off because she would get really, pardon the term, anal about farts. And so if you were farting, she'd be like, oh, you have to go sit on the toilet and stuff. So I would purposely, man, before we went to her house, I would eat ice cream and a burrito, and then just wait for it and hold it in and stuff, and then go run and go, Grandma, not sit on her lap and just whoop. Just rip one out.
Wow.
And then my dad would look at her and say, "You started this." It's like when it's a kid, you ignore a fart, dummy. You say anything about it, they own you.
Daniel still does this to this day.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I go to my grandmother's grave,
He does
dig
it
a
with other
little
people.
hole,
He does it with other people.
snuggle down in there. You can see the grass and the graves around it puff up a little bit. All the leaves on the tree turn brown. And then like the movie Carrie, a skeletal hand comes up out of the ground. Points to the restroom. Go.
I wouldn't dare. I think that like my grandmother had was on first person basis with Jesus. Like, no, she prayed for things, and those things would happen. And then I'd be like, "I'm trying to pass this test, Granny. Can you pray for me?" And she'll say something like, "I pray that you remember everything that you studied for your test." And I was like, "Come on, Grandma, let's get supernatural with it."
I can just use the A right now, please.
Just pray the test away.
She's like, Jesus used to turn water into mead, and I taught him all about Chardonnay and Rosé. Like, Jesus, can I have a little Syrah over here? Oh, thank you. How many people know about their grandparents' high school experiences? Because high school was very different for them, especially for me. I mean, I'm 52 years old. My grandparents were old, too.
Yeah.
Really old.
My grandmother, she grew up at a time where you didn't go to school.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
There was no such thing as school. Like
You learn from your parents.
You lived on a farm.
Yeah.
There's mad work to do.
Where? What state was she from?
Texas.
Texas. Oh, so she had a farm. Her family had a farm.
She was like one of them bonnet-wearing...
Yeah, like you go work out in these
Homesteaders.
fields, like for real. Like it's on this farm,
Right.
And you live there. Like she lived with my aunt Zell, and she lived on this farm for all these years, and like didn't even really ever go to school. She had my mom and my aunt. She moved to California and became a trichologist.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine?
Like that. Like people say trichology, like, what is a trichologist?
Yeah, what is?
I know. A trichologist is the study of the hair and how it relates to the health of the rest of the body.
Wow.
So it's like she can do your hair and give you some vitamins. Stop those split ends. You loosen your hair. Let's get it back. Yeah, she had her own, but it was a whole thing. Like,
But it seems like that could like go big right now. Like people
I
are
know,
so into freaking crazy
it
stuff.
was less
She can like
cosmetic.
sell it now.
It was less.
Okay, so high school stuff. Okay, it is Father's Day. My dad told me about the sock hops, and he went to this two-story high school. It was called Mark Keppel, and they had a room where there was projectors and stuff, which was pretty hot for then.
Keppel.
You know, this was 50s. Yeah, so they go to the dance where you got to take off your shoes so your feet slide around on the floor while you're dancing on the. And that was really supposedly to keep the basketball court clean.
That's how they clean their basketball court.
Well, no, it's just so because a lot of people's shoes would scuff it up.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
got
scuff
it.
up,
Oh, I
scuff
see.
up the
To
varnish
prevent-
on the
yeah,
wood.
for sure.
The guy that ran the AV room would open the AV room, and then people that wanted to have sex could sneak up there, and he always called it the orgy at the sock hop.
Is that on your list?
Yes! Wait, is
my
what on my
God.
list?
The orgy of the
Yes,
sock
orgy
hop?
at the sock
Oh
house
my
on my list.
God!
Give it to me.
Somebody
Freaking
called
job.
something.
Give it to
God
me.
damn.
Give it to me.
man.
Grandparents' favorite food. What do you guys got?
Fried chicken.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
everybody's
great,
shaking.
man.
I
Everybody
think
I can't remember the exact stuff, but my grandma had
gefilte fish.
on one side, yeah, she came up with all this crap that no kid in their right mind would ever eat. The hell are you trying to give me? You know, and it's like Thanksgiving and shit, and you're just
Pickled herring.
pickled herring.
Pickled herring was her favorite, and that
It's like,
creamy
take
white
a sardine
sauce.
and put it up inside you for a
I
while.
don't even know what it is. Yeah, and it's like the white sauce.
Cadaver
What? Who's
pig
seen-
feet.
I've never seen white sauce around a fish.
Oh, I've made a lot of white sauce in my day.
Yeah, but there's something about white fish flesh and white sauce, and they put it in their mouth and it dripping out the corner of their
Cow
lips.
tongue.
Ugh. Oh yeah, tongue.
Cow tongue.
Another one.
Yeah, I remember tongue being very big,
Very big.
and I wanted nothing to do with it.
And it was like the only thing that you see that's a full organ,
Yeah.
like, and it's sitting there in the
Yeah.
glass
Yeah.
case.
Yeah. All spiny and
There's
stuff.
no like liver,
It's like a
kidney,
creature out of a
whatever.
sci-fi space
Totally.
movie.
And the little
Totally.
buds,
get ya.
the buds on the let's eat that. Ooh, let's rub this around us and eat it.
Pig feet, man. Chitlins.
Yes,
You scare
that's
me.
gross too.
Well, it'd be like, you can't leave that table. Like, I mean.
Oh, dude, I loved that shit when I was a kid.
No, I didn't love it when I
loved
was
that
5.
shit.
I didn't love it when I was 5.
Love that
When I
shit.
discovered hot sauce when I was 12. Give it to me. But like at 5, and then like, you can't leave this table until that plate is empty.
Oh,
yeah.
don't you love that?
Hey,
Look at
I mean, were you real? Like for real?
And it's all chitlins
It's
and
midnight.
pig feet. You're like,
It's midnight now.
That's why I always had a
You
dog.
held out.
I taught my dog. He was
Yeah.
sneaky, man. He didn't get caught when I was going to give him stuff under the table. He was stealthy. He'd come sneaking in. He's giving him shit off my plate. There you go,
Man,
dude.
I wish I had
Thank you,
had
dog.
a dog just
Yeah.
for that reason. I went through my Malcolm X phase. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to convert to Islam. You know, I remember what Malcolm X talk about. My body's talk about. You know, I'm not gonna eat that bacon anymore. You know,
Meanwhile, they're throwing pig's ears on your plate.
Yeah, no, my grandma, I swear to God, man. She put bacon in my grits. She put bacon in the cornbread. She put bacon in the spinach.
And she didn't tell you, so you're like eating it, and she's all, so Malcolm X, you like that cornbread? Oh, it's great, girl. You're eating bacon.
She told me, she said, well, you too good to eat my cooking now?
Oh.
You too good to eat my cooking? Is Malcolm X, he could eat with us?
Wow, she is like busting your balls.
I was like, whoa. I'm only in 9th grade.
I know, she's busting your balls.
Man, I wouldn't say it was a phase.
You're a
I mean,
kid.
You grew up as a Christian and tried to do something different. Come on, man. Think outside the box, Grandma. If I did something wrong and my grandma saw it, then my grandma wouldn't say anything to me yet. She would, like, bitch at my mother. And then my mother would bitch at my sister. And then my grandma bitched at me, and they all bitched at me in succession.
Wow.
It was the bitch tsunami.
It was the reinforcements.
So you had a lot of brothers?
First of all, those times were few and far between. I never had.
Because he was such a good boy.
I did what my parents told me to do. They said, "Yo, go out there and win. Sweep
He's
the
a winner.
leg, Johnny."
Sweep the land.
Get out there and sell those lemons.
Cobra Kai.
I was alive too, and like my grandparents used to have parties. Like when we were like 5 and 6, they had parties and they smoked inside.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And everybody smoked Mentos.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up in that house too, man. Whole house full of smoke all
the time.
day.
We had jar of candy on the coffee table, and right next to it is a box. And in that box are matches. What are these matches for? That's not your box, boy.
And the candy that's all stuck together tastes like cigarettes, right?
They used to have their little parties and drink their what are their Ripple.
Ripple.
They
oh
ever
my
play
God.
Bunko?
Or Pokino.
Oh, Bunko.
Pokino, yeah, Bunko
Oh.
was, there would be like a bunch
know
of card
bridge.
tables around that. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but
Okay.
there'd be card tables around the house, and you're playing these card games on the card tables. I think it was card games.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
even
yeah,
remember. But every once in a while, a bell would go off, and so whatever points you got at that table is what you had, and
Say
you
that
had
again?
to like switch partners
how
and go
cool.
to another table.
It
Wow.
was called Bunko.
Bunko, Bunko.
Bunko.
Yeah, I probably have the way it was played wrong because I was really little. I was like when I was 6 or 7. I remember one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. I was like 7 years old, and my mom already had her bunko party going on, and there's all these ladies there, and my grandma's there too. She said, "Come on, you're a big boy. Go take your bath. Go put on your pajamas and go to bed." And, all right, I'll go do that. So I'm taking my bath and stuff, and I go and I can't find my pajamas, and I forgot there's all these people at the house, and I just went walking out in the living room naked. Mom, where's my pajamas? And everybody starts cackling and laughing. And I did the like Wile E. Coyote jump in the air. Took like 6 steps without going anywhere.
That, my friend, is stationary roadrunner.
Funny.
We weren't bad kids. We didn't get out of pocket, but everything was super strict. My house was like a museum. You couldn't even touch a thing in the building. You're like, I mean, you could barely sit on the couch. Don't you mess up those cushions, boy.
Anybody have the plastic couch?
Yeah.
Oh, no!
We had plastic couch one, and then we got rid of it.
I never had the plastic couch, thank God.
My mom did the plastic couch. My grandma, kinda.
Yeah.
Our rule with, at least, I'd even bring my dogs with me and stuff, and my grandma just said, when your kids fuck up that couch, you're buying the new couch. My dad would be like, yeah, I know, all right.
So I had
But we would just take the old one. Okay,
I had a
it's
pair
not
of-
that messed up.
I had some grandparents. My dad was older. He was in World War II, and the grandparents. He ended up getting adopted by a couple. He was orphaned when he was 9. The couple that had adopted him came to our house one day, and this is kind of the dark side, I guess. But they came. The grandpa, my grandpa, presumably, step grandpa, was in a trench coat, a long, dark trench coat, and
Grandpa
a
in
hat.
trench coat, that's a good idea.
And mom was in a little one of those black, or my grandma was in one of those little black kind of crown, but it goes around.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like
A
a
little
headband that
bud.
sticks up.
Yeah, it's a headband.
It's got a little gate that goes over your head.
but a thick headband.
It's a
black
cemetery
velvet,
fence. Yeah.
and a little like kind of black roses on the side, and she was in a long dark.
Whenever
coat.
they took a picture, one of them was
Dark.
holding a pitchfork and the other one
No,
was holding
even
a shovel.
darker, more like in the city. Those two being in the city and just dark. You know, it was very dark. I remember meeting him. It was like dark, so it was like almost like.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
It was-
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it just flipped over.
The fee. That's why they had to put Fred Gwynn in Pet Cemetery, so he could just rub it in.
So my grandparents immigrated from Chile, and they came by
And they were
wagon.
delicious.
They came by air, but
And boy, were their arms tired.
right.
It wasn't like in any little wagon going across. It was air.
Oh, the covered
They were like,
wagon.
yeah, it's like it was like
Wagon
air.
trail.
Jeez.
it was
Come
the
on,
wagon,
are we complaining?
but like air.
So how old were you?
2.
So pretty young. But yeah, you're on a plane and then you wake up and you're somewhere else and it's like, oh, this is where you live now, punk.
Do you have memories of that transition?
Nope.
Not at all.
My earliest memory.
Remember
is
that
of
mobile
Isla
over your
Vista.
bed of the plantains? Well, it's like little hubcaps now.
Little
My
dad,
grandma
man.
came here from Joplin, Missouri. I mean, I'm talking about how old I am, and then like my family never had kids really young, so everybody's really old. You know, grandparents are really old and stuff. And she came over here from Joplin, Missouri on a wagon.
Wow.
On a wagon? You mean like straight grapes and wrath?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
would be about that time. Grapes. Are
Yeah,
about
and,
that time.
and in the
Dust
town
Bowl.
that she moved into, which many people know of, it was San Gabriel, right out of Pasadena in LA.
I know
I was gonna
exactly.
say-
Okay, that was a little tiny village, and they didn't have a school yet.
Oh.
And she was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, 10 years old when they got there, but she ended up being the first like school teacher
Wow.
in San Gabriel. Yeah,
oh my
and she had
God.
the little house, and she was the only teacher, and all the kids came there, and it didn't matter how old you are, you all sat in the room at the same
Wow,
time.
That's basically like church.
Pasadena was still all walnut trees. There were no buildings yet.
Well, I remember my my
No
mom.
houses.
I don't know a lot about my grandma, but my mom had gotten there at 15, so I don't really know what my grandma was actually doing. But
I'm gonna delete all this shit.
okay, I know. Sorry.
Like everybody out there, yeah, Daniel, we give a shit about your grandma being a teacher. Fuck you. Well, yeah, but you didn't know what she taught those kids. You ever see Children of the Corn, motherfucker?
He who behind the rose wants you now, Daniel French.
Malachi. Come to San Gabriel.
Interloper. We have your woman, interloper.
And that's why the rest of the country wonders why California is so weird compared to them. That's why, guys. All the whack jobs came out here and did their satanic stuff. Even the ones from Chile.
We have all your corn. We have all your children.
Well, you know that all the horror movies are of LA, old LA, anyways,
right.
and so we are
Absolutely.
influenced
When
by
there's kids in
LA.
it, they used to, when they were filming them, they'd put little kernels of corn where their eyes were
I don't
to make them
remember.
look freaky.
Oh,
You have to
man.
find that movie. It's really hard to find.
Children.
I'm making it up. You're supposed to call me and say,
Oh,
that's on your list.
that's on your list.
Ah, Bluff Point. No, I'm just
Damn
kidding.
it.
I thought you bluffing and puffing.
And I had a grandpa that used to say he was going to put me back in my mom because I weren't done cooking. Put you back in there for a while. You're messed up. You didn't finish cooking.
So I had a grandpa. This was so this is interesting. I was a little girl. I was probably 3 or 4, pretty early memories, but I was somewhere around there, and I remember going up to my grandpa, and we were like in the kitchen, and I go, "Grandpa, I'm really strong," and I was actually the tallest girl since.
He said, "Yeah, strong
Since
smelling."
since junior high. So I go up to him, "I'm really strong. I can pick you up." So I was like really small, and I remember wrapping my arms around his shins,
Okay.
like
Really
like a
small.
full wrap, and I'm like, and I lift him up, and like I look at his feet, and his feet are off the ground. I'm like, fucking, I can lift him up. Look at how strong I am.
He's got his
And I
hand
put
on the
him
kitchen
down.
table and the counter, and he's lifting himself
I just
up.
figured that out 3 years ago. I thought that I was freaking strong, and I'm like thinking, I think he was lifting himself up off the ground. I'm like, oh my god! Here I thought I was like a brute of a woman, I'm like,
I would have just
Damn.
farted on you.
I was just farted on you.
you
Look what
probably
you did there. You
Can't
squeezed
wait.
right out of me.
Can't wait for Jerry to have kids.
Jerry's going to hate me, man.
That kid is gonna get
He's going to
farted
be
on a
trying
lot.
to raise like the world's greatest kids, and I'm going to teach his kids all
All the worst
the
things.
horrible things.
Bodily functions are fun. Let me show you.
My grandson's going to go to kindergarten going, he's going to be telling jokes he doesn't even know what it means. I don't know, but my grandpa laughs when he says it.
My grandpa, we had grandpa. I don't think it was my grandmother's first husband. It was her second husband, and but he was an artist in L.A. He's the one smoking all them cigarettes. He was like a sculptor, and so there were all these wooden sculptures in our house, like a naked woman's bust, sculpted out of wood. Like we're all little kids, like
That was his porn collection.
yeah, and they're only as tall as like a kindergartner. I wonder why.
I wonder why. My grandfather was a architect, and so there's like, I don't know, something like 100 buildings in Chile that were all built by him.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
really.
That's pretty cool, dude. That's pretty cool.
I have like.
They're all made of animal dung bricks. Little thatched roofs.
No, including the
They all have a little pentagram over the door.
hospital.
And they like got together some red paint that I don't know, some flour that they had like totally soaked.
I thought about becoming an architect, but
So my mother and my grandmother got in an argument because I was always an artist. I had been drawing since I was 5. My mother said, "He's a great artist. That means he should be an engineer." And my grandma didn't get mad. And mind you, my grandma had no high school education. She just came out here and went to a trade school, and she got it all going on.
Yep.
And my mother is brilliant. My mother fixes airplanes. My mother can fix a plane engine. My mother, he's a great artist. Let's make him engineer. And then my grandma would say, "Baby, no. He should be architect, baby."
Wow, love the voice.
They have those type of conversations, and I didn't do either. I became
Look at you now.
I became a writer.
Yeah.
I make Transformer themed songs with Daniel French in my spare time.
He makes sandcastles out of his doo-doo on the beach. There you go, I'm a builder. Wait, one really quick for JC, Mr. Cosgrove out there. Me and Rod got to take a big hit off of our vapes in the pipe. There you go, bro. Special request from one of our listeners. He says every episode we got to do that for him once. It only smokes when we go really fast.
don't use enough lube.
You want to count up some points?
I'm good.
I'm
All
ready.
right.
I'm ready to count some points.
All right, I got back to my grandpa voice here. Mr. Rod Diaz.
All right, so I got a couple I didn't use. I did not steal it from the church.
What? We even talked about going to church,
I know,
man. You
I
gotta
know.
steal something from the church.
I couldn't think of what to steal from the church.
I would think negatively about you if you had
You
told
steal
that.
shoes from the church. I haven't said I got busted for running around barefoot, and you could have been the guy that stole my shoes.
And a long ear horn.
Oh, that's a hard one. You know what I meant by that? The long ear horn? That's the thing that the old man sticks in his ear
yes.
when he's listening to you. And goes,
okay.
That's the long ear horn.
All right, well, those were...
Right.
So the ones I did use were boxers, brief depends,
Yeah, that was good.
migrating in a wagon train,
Migrating in a wagon train, just like my grandma did.
and wearing a monocle.
And wearing a monocle.
Okay.
I wanted to get a Mr. Peanut joke out of that one, but it didn't happen. All right, Kathy, what do you got going on over there?
I think you're gonna have to edit this out. I got nothing, man. I got nothing.
Oh, my. How did you get nothing?
Because he told real stories.
Did you even notice I tried to help you on some?
No, you got me one. Right.
I was trying to give
I
you
remember
some.
you actually. I got one.
What'd you get?
It was. What was the one? It was
Just say
the
that.
one that you.
Just say the thing on the card. Just read the goddamn card, man. Oh, I forgot. Kathy can't read.
Don't say it.
One of her
You
big.
said this was
It's a
gonna be
big
a
loss
safe
when you're
place.
playing the list game and you can't read.
Say it in Latin.
Just read me your whole list. What do you got?
Hometown buffet.
Hometown buffet. You didn't use hometown buffet. We're talking about old people. You didn't use hometown buffet. My God, you're fired. All right.
Hindenburg.
The Hindenburg. Well, that one would have been a kind of hard one to sneak in there.
That's a little too old.
Okay.
Do it with my teeth out.
Oh, come on! I wanted that one for myself. Yeah, baby. Later on tonight when the kids go to sleep, I'm going to do it with my teeth out.
It's always better. Teeth just get in the way.
Oh my God.
I can't wait till Rosanna's old. Baby, take your teeth out.
I would.
All right, this is kind of more mundane. Drinks at the country club.
You could have got away with that one really easy.
Fudge. And
Okay.
motorized shopping cart. That's more of
Motorized
a.
shopping cart. Disclaimer.
The dangers.
She thought the cookies on the plate were normal cookies. Ate 3 of them. Kevin, what'd you get, brother?
All right, I got them all.
You got all 5 of them,
Kevin's
huh?
gonna win.
Shoot them out.
So I got buried the evidence.
Yes.
Hemorrhoids in the garden.
Yeah. Now, you got that one, but I got to ding you a little bit because there was like 0 creativity there, dude.
I
That's not
didn't
true.
hear
I
it.
tied that in with humanoids from the deep.
Okay, all right.
no,
Humanoids from
no.
the deep,
Well,
hemorrhoids from the garden.
no.
Okay, all right.
No,
I slid it in there. I used my vernacular, okay?
All right, so it's
So you
more
did
of
it more of like a
sound
rhyming
thing.
Mr. Rogers thing.
All
Okay.
right.
I said that in relation to
Okay.
the old people about I used it in reference to the older audience watching that movie.
Okay.
And I
All
used
right,
it as
all
a faux pas.
I was expecting something
Come
more
on,
of like
man.
when you're working in the garden and you have to, use the little bench or something. No,
I
go
write
on.
science
What else?
fiction in my spare time.
What else you got?
Hard candy. Hard candy.
Hard candy.
Yeah.
Can't lose that one.
Bones creaking like bed springs.
Oh, my God.
I repeat that.
Oh, my
Twice
God,
or
you
3
did it
times.
twice.
You got a good one there.
And then super elastic waistband.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got
Got
this.
all
I got
that.
this all in the first 12
You
minutes,
deserve
folks.
the win today.
Yeah, he snuck them in really good and quick.
You deserve the win today.
All right.
Well done.
And I got a bluff point.
Okay, let's see. I had orgy after the sock hop, and Kevin called me on that, so he gets that point.
Yes.
And then I had the coupon expert
Yeah.
at the market. And then I also just left out and I got them both from the hat. I also got writing a check at the market.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I tied them in together.
Very good.
And then I had the village idiot.
Yes. Oh my God.
And then I'm surprised you guys didn't call me on this one when I talked about Grandpa bought me condoms.
Wow. And I even supported it saying your grandpa is a far thinker.
Yeah, I just made that shit up. Yeah. Out there in the list game world, just in case you didn't know it, 99% of anything you hear on this is not a fact. it's all bullshit. All right, so with that, man, I counted the points, and second place runner-up is the Mighty Rod with 3 points. Kathy and I, like, next to nothing. And Kevin got the big 7. That makes Kevin
11.
I was gonna say that makes Kevin 7-11. Give me a hot dog, bitch.
Don't eat the hot dogs there, bro.
Don't eat the hot dog.
Don't eat the hot dogs
Don't
there.
eat the hot dogs
Only
anywhere.
chicken.
Oh yeah, they make the chicken out of chicken. Yeah. You ever notice there's never any pigeons around a 7-Eleven?
That'd be a little tiny.
Once again, this has been a fantastic episode of The List Game, brought to you by
Stand,
Go
go,
Vision.
vision.